Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Bob Mullinex. I'm from Bentley Systems. I've been with Bentley. It'll be 11 years, actually, in a couple weeks here. Prior to that, I worked in the civil structural consulting industry for over 20 years. I've implemented ProjectWise and over 16 DOTs since I joined Bentley. Used to do a lot of work with DOTs when I was in a private firm. Intimately familiar with DOT workflows. I've been working with VDOT now for a couple of years. If any of the folks, if you are in your audio, if you don't mind, when you join the call, I have it set to mute automatically, but it seems like a few people are still joining with their audio on. So if you're not don't have any questions or anything, please try to make sure your mute is on, so there's no background noise. That'd be greatly appreciated. Um, Like I said, my name is Bob Mullinex. There's my contact information. I'm going to show you where you can actually get a copy of this PowerPoint. Feel free to jot down my email and email me, and I will email it to you as well. No problem there. But I will show you inside of ProjectWise where you can get a copy of it. So I'll force you to get used to actually accessing ProjectWise and downloading content. Here's our agenda today. We're just going to go over the quick overview here. Then we're going to take a look at the ProjectWise implementation support page. We're going to take a look at a couple of the documents that you need to fill out and send to CAD support at VDOT to get access to the system. If you were a Falcon user in previously, that does not mean that you automatically have access to ProjectWise. They're using a slightly different access, so you will need to request a new user. Someone just joined and we're getting a bunch of feedback. 1 second. Okay. So we will take a look at the support page, then we'll take a look at the documents associated to requesting access. So again, if you were a Falcon user, that does not mean you're automatically a ProjectWise user. You have to put in a new request. All new users will have to have a VDOT COV domain account. That way they can control password policies, and they can basically require you to change your password every 60 to 90 days. Then we're going to take a look at a couple of the job aids. We'll look at where you can get to the job aids in 2 different locations, through the support webpage as well as through inside of ProjectWise. We'll specifically look at the CAB job aid and take a look at the CAB process, the Construction Advertisement Bulletin Board, and we will also look at the EOI, expression of interest upload process in that job aid. Then we will actually get into the ProjectWise Web Explorer. The address there is https projectwise.vdot.virginia.gov. We'll take a look at a couple user settings that you need to have in Internet Explorer. We'll take a look at searching for documents in the Web Explorer, uploading documents, specifically for the expression of interest as well as anywhere, downloading documents, checking in and checking out documents. You will typically not do a lot of that through the Web Explorer client. If you find that you're going to do a lot of checking in and checking out, you probably want to use ProjectWise Explorer, the installed client, and you should probably attend the 4-hour training session that actually covers all of the ProjectWise Explorer content. This one is just an hour session where we're going to cover the Web Explorer. Then we'll wrap it up with just viewing documents, but you're going to see that you can view documents pretty much throughout the whole process. I am going to briefly mention that we do have a markup process for DGN, but it is currently not working. It was broken by the security folks, and we need to figure out why. But at some point, you will have the ability to mark up DGNs through the Web Explorer. Most of our training is going to be focused on Internet Explorer. Some of the questions that come up is, can I use Chrome, Safari, and Firefox? Yes, you can, but you will not have full capabilities through Chrome, Safari, or Firefox. If you want full bulk upload, bulk download, check-in, check-out capabilities, you need Internet Explorer 8, 9, 10, or 11. It will not work. Anything that's what we call ActiveX control dependent will require Internet Explorer. And the bulk upload, bulk download, and check-in and check-out and markup and viewing capabilities are typically through Internet Explorer. In Chrome, Safari, Firefox, if you just want to view a PDF, you want to view a Word document, you can't, as long as you have those viewers on the device or where you're accessing it, you can view that content. But you can't necessarily check in or check out. You can actually use this web address on any device on the planet that has internet access. So you can do it on your smartphone, your iPad tablet, your Android tablet, your Microsoft tablet, any device that has internet access. It'll just depend on what browser you're using and what capabilities you have. So we'll take a look at that configuration. We'll look at searching, uploading, downloading, checking in and out, and markup. Okay, so let's jump back to here. So the first place I'm going to go is the support page. Again, I will show you where you can get a copy of this PowerPoint. So you don't necessarily have to write this down, but if you want to do a quick screen capture or want to write that down, this is just basically when you go to their support page out at VDOT, it's just go to the CAD support page, and there'll be a sub page for ProjectWise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. So this is the support page. So again, doing business with VDOT, location and design, CAD support, and then there's a ProjectWise subpage. Will Elliott is the primary ProjectWise administrator. There's his email and his phone number. Pretty much anybody in the CAD support group should be able to help you with the ProjectWise support, though. If you have any problems or issues and have questions, use the CAD support help desk, and they will hopefully get to you as soon as possible. Any announcements related to ProjectWise will be here under the announcements page. And then some frequently asked questions, login instructions, software download instructions, and training schedule will all be listed here. Some of the forms that you'll have to download and fill out are here. So you will have to download and fill out the security agreement for external users. You'll have to download access to ProjectWise, and then you may also want to download if you want access to a specific project or UPC number within a specific district. The job aids that are available are listed here below. We're only going to really focus on the external access content, so we're going to look at CAB, and we're going to look at the EOI, expressions of interest for professional services. The other job aids that are here focus predominantly on internal use or any consultants who are actually doing heavy production work through MicroStation, Geopack, Open Roads, and they're actually editing content through ProjectWise Explorer, not Web Explorer. Okay. Let's jump back here. So if you want to get access, again, remember that just because you have access with Falcon doesn't mean you have access to ProjectWise. You're going to have to put in a request to get a new username and password. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this link. And those same forms that I saw on that main page are also available here under here. So I want to make sure that I download this PDF or form. And I'll go ahead and fill out this form and then send it back to the CAD support group. Then we'll want to do the same for this one as well. So this is just the security agreement. Fill in your name there. Pull out everything here, the dates and signature. And then if you want access to a specific project, you'll fill out the LD 900. Okay, so this will basically fill out the request and then list out the specific UPC and district, and then which divisions or folders you need access to. And then they'll have to approve it and then assign those permissions. Okay. So that's the main support page. Then we also have, make sure you fill out those, at least the first two forms. You may need also the third form if you need access to a specific project. In general, all users who have a username and password will have read access to the historical plan file room data. Not all of that data has been migrated yet. Most of it has. Not all of the CAB data has been migrated yet. When we get into CAB here in a minute, you'll see that when you go to the construction advertisement bulletin board, if the content is still in Falcon, it'll take you to Falcon and work the way it always has. If it is not in Falcon and it's in ProjectWise, it'll take you to ProjectWise, and you'll see that here in a second. Okay. So our job aids are available down at the bottom of that main support page. So down here, actually, it'll take a minute there. Right here, down at the bottom. You can also find those inside of ProjectWise. Once we get into the ProjectWise web client, I will show you where you can get to those from there. This is the CAB job aid. It's basically just displaying the CAB website. Search for a UPC number. If the content is still in Falcon, it'll take you to Falcon and work the way it does now. And if it's in ProjectWise, it's going to prompt you to log in. And then it's going to take you to the proposal set, the plan set, and the MicroStation file set directly. And then you can download, view, print, things like that directly from the website or download it and print from there. Okay? And this just goes over the instructions on how to download. Okay? So let's take a look at that. So here's the construction advertisement bullet board. So that's the external CAB. And I'm going to use this UPC. So let's do a search on this UPC. Down at the bottom here, it lists out the project, and I can hit the ePlans link. There's only one data source listed here, VDOT ProjectWise. When you're logging in, after you've requested your new username and password, you have to always preface the COV domain when you're logging in, whether it's on your phone, your iPad, your Android tablet, or your computer. You have to have COV / then your first name dot last name. Okay. Enter your password. And because I went through CAB, it took me directly to the search for that UPC number. Okay, so it actually logged me into ProjectWise, ran the search. Okay, in here, these are basically 3 sets. If I picked one of them, it's going to expand it out and it's going to show me all the DGNs that are in that set. If all I needed was one particular file in here, I could right-click it and download it. Okay. If I want the whole set, I can go back up and I could highlight that, right-click it, and download the entire set. So let's do that. Should take a minute or so. So I'm going to hit download. Ask me where I want to download it to. So over here in my C drive, I have a documents folder, and I have a downloads folder. Hit OK. Now, there's quite a few files in there, so this might take a couple minutes. We'll just give it a minute. You can also download an entire folder. And I will show you that when we get into the actual download section. Here, what it is, it's what we call a set, or a checkout set or a download set. So what they've done is they've just created a set of MicroStation files that I can download them together. I can, and I can access them together as a group. Okay, so it basically downloaded all those DGNs at once by just right-clicking and downloading the set. If I browse to my C drive and I go to Documents and I go to that download folder, you see that I downloaded some PDFs earlier, but here's all the DGNs as well that were just downloaded. So there are quite a few DGNs there, and that was actually pretty quick. Of course, it's only as fast as your internet connection. I'm in a basement office in Michigan right now, and I have just a standard Comcast cable modem. That was pretty quick. So it is actually relatively efficient. If I expand out the plan set will contain all of the PDF files for the current plan set. The MicroStation one will contain all the DGN files, and then the proposal will contain the proposal. As far as reviewing it or viewing the content through CAB, just right-click and view. Simple as that. There's the proposal. Okay. Relatively quick. So there may be multiple PDFs in there. In a lot of cases, it's just a single PDF. And if I wanted to download that, I can grab the whole set and download it, or I can open up the set and just download the one PDF I want. I just download it. Exporting will actually lock the file, but if you'll only have read access to this content. I'm logged in right now as an administrator, so I have read-write. That's why I know I have read-write because I see this pencil. You'll see an open book there, and you'll have read access, and you'll be able to view it or download it, but you won't be able to modify it. Okay. You can also see the properties of the document. The properties are going to give me a thumbnail. It's also going to give me any custom attributes that have been assigned to that document, any file document attributes. If it's MicroStation file, it's going to show me any reference attachments it has, and it'll also show me audit trail. Everything's audited in ProjectWise. So in the audit trail, you'll be able to see anybody who's ever accessed this file. Okay, and it's more for administrative purposes. So we know who's viewing the content. Okay. Okay. So that's pretty much CAB. Let's just kind of run through that again. Let me make sure there's nothing in the chat window here. Okay. So to get to CAB, you basically come in here, run your search on your UPC. When you hit the E-plans, if it's in Falcon, it'll take you to Falcon. If it's in Project, now at some point, all of it will be in ProjectWise, and it'll always take you to ProjectWise. By hitting this link, since I was already in there, it should just take me directly, log me into. It'll ask if you're not logged into ProjectWise, it'll prompt you and log you in. If you are, it'll just take you straight to that search and run that search. Okay, and it'll find the MicroStation set, the plan set with the PDFs, and the proposal set. Okay. So that is CAB. So web access. We just saw initially. Let's take a look at web access. So for non-CAB usage, if you just need to go to a project you have access to and upload or download some data. Okay. write this URL down. Again, I will show you where you can get to this PowerPoint inside of ProjectWise once we get in there. And I probably should have them maybe add this to the support page so you can get to it through there as well. But we want to try and encourage you to go into ProjectWise and get in there. So in here, we're going to look at some of the configuration considerations you need to make. Again, if you want the full-blown check-in, check-out, bulk upload, bulk download, you want to be using Internet Explorer 8, 9, 10, or 11. You can use Chrome, Safari, and Firefox, but it's only going to allow you to upload and download one file at a time, and it doesn't have check-in and check-out capabilities. We do have some mobile applications, and so on the iPad, you can download, if you do a search on Bentley Systems, you can find an application called ProjectWise Edge or ProjectWise Worksite. Those applications can be also installed on Windows, on your Windows computer, on Windows 10, and you can drag and drop files with that, the latest and greatest, and that is set up, but you will need additional configuration instructions on how to set up ProjectWise Edge. It is another mobile client. It actually requires an install. This one right here just requires literally hit the link, projectwise.vdot.virginia.gov. So let me log out for a second. Let me close some of these. Log in again. Okay, you'll have one data source listed, VDOT ProjectWise. Make sure you put COV \, then first name dot last name, and your password. Log in. Okay, so now I'm logged in. You'll notice I'm logged in as an administrator, so I have full rights pretty much to everything. When you log in, you will not see all the same folders I do. You'll basically see project standards, and you may see plan file room. If you're dealing with expressions of interest or professional services, you'll see the professional services folder. And when you expand that, you'll see your company name underneath there. I'll demonstrate that in a minute for the EOI stuff. When you come into the projects, you will see all the districts, but underneath there, you may only see the projects you have read access to or read-write access, depending on what you're doing with it. So you will not see all the projects within the districts, only the ones you've been granted permissions to. Under standards, you will only see certain things under standards. One of them will be ProjectWise documentation. Under ProjectWise documentation, there are two folders. Job aids, here's the PDFs. So the job aid we just reviewed here, right-click view, was the CAB one. Right, we just reviewed that. That's available outside in ProjectWise under standards, ProjectWise documentation, job aids. We're going to look at the EOI one here in a minute. This one is related to uploading data into the expressions of interest in the professional services area. Okay. We're also going to be creating a small video on how to do this for the expressions of interest. But again, I'm going to demonstrate it as well here. And this session is being recorded and will be eventually available out in the ProjectWise documentation folder. Okay. This PDF or the PowerPoint is also available here. It's actually right here. It's the ProjectWise Explore Connect Edition Training 1-hour session. Right-click view, and so you can download that and view that from here. It's in PDF format, but it has all the links. Okay. So and there's also some additional training out here for the ProjectWise Explorer, not the Web Explorer, but ProjectWise Explorer content. That's freely available to any consultants who might use it. Again, keep in mind, If you're going to be doing a lot of check-in and check-out and editing of MicroStation content on project-related data, you really should look at using the ProjectWise Explorer, not the ProjectWise Web Explorer. And you should look at taking the 4-hour training session with ProjectWise Explorer. Okay. A number of you, I think someone mentioned that you're from JMT. You guys already use ProjectWise, so you should be comfortable with that if your office currently uses ProjectWise Explorer. Okay. Let's keep going here. So let's take a look at, before we get too far into using the Web Explorer, some of the considerations you need to understand when using Internet Explorer if you want full download, upload capabilities. So let's take a look at that. So first thing you want to make sure you do is make sure you turn off pop-up blockers. The check-in, check-out, and bulk upload and download are ActiveX controls. It's unique to Microsoft, and that's why we need Internet Explorer if we want to bulk upload and bulk download. ProjectWise Edge, though, which is a mobile install client that works in Chrome, will work in Chrome, Safari, and Firefox. It does not require ActiveX control. So if you go to the App Store and you download ProjectWise Edge and you get it configured, you'll have to work with the tech support people because we don't have a job aid yet for configuring the mobile clients. Once we do, it's pretty straightforward, though. You can actually drag and drop content into that, and that does not require Internet Explorer. Okay, it just requires the mobile application. But for Internet Explorer, 8, 9, 10, or 11, make sure that the pop-up blockers is turned off. Go to your Internet options. You may require your IT folks to get involved here. It all depends on what kind of rights you have on your Internet Explorer security. If you do not have rights to come into security, trusted sites, and add a trusted site, then you may need to get your IT people involved. You'll see that I already added it right here. So if I hadn't added it, it would show up here and I would just hit add. Okay. But I have projectwise.vdot.virginia.gov added to my trusted sites. So I have to have that, and I have to have the pop-up blockers. If I'm using Internet Explorer 11, there's a third option you need to set. You need to make sure that you go to Tools, Compatibility View Settings, and also make sure the virginia.gov is added here. Okay? So that's only for Internet Explorer 11. 8, 9, and 10, you just need those first two settings. Okay, so let's just review it again. So turn off pop-up blockers. Go to Internet Options, Security, Trusted Sites, and make sure that projectwise.virginia.gov is added as a trusted site. Okay, we have a question here. Let's see what we got. Okay, I'm a VDOT employee in land use. Our group relies on information contained in historical constructed plans. Are you going to go through presentation? Could we please identify what is the best way for PDF historical plans? Okay, so yeah, I can briefly talk about that. Yes. So I will briefly talk about searching historical plans. The historical plans you can actually search through ProjectWise Explorer. If you're an internal employee, you can use ProjectWise Explorer, or you can use the web client. Either way. You'll see I'm going to run a search a little bit later when we get into the searching in a few minutes, where I can search for content literally on almost anything. And I can do it on any device, including my smartphone. Okay. Can you merge PDFs and download a single PDF? Only if you're using ProjectWise Explorer. The web client does not merge PDFs. If you're using ProjectWise Explorer, we actually have a merge PDF tool that merges PDFs. Okay. Now, you can see when I showed you the cab that the set, right, you can download that, and then you could merge them outside of ProjectWise just fine. And we're providing the PDFs all in a single set, so you're only downloading that one set, okay? And but through ProjectWise Explorer, yes, we provide a merge tool, not through the web client, okay? So make sure you have those three settings, and you shouldn't have any problems using Internet Explorer. Okay, so let's jump back to our agenda here. So that's configuring it. So let's look at searching now. Okay, so all historical plan file room data is going to be in ProjectWise. It's already there. It's already been indexed, and it's all fully searchable. If you're an internal user, I would highly suggest you use the searching capabilities through the ProjectWise Explorer. And in the 4-hour training session, we cover that in depth on all the different searching features. Here, I'm just going to briefly talk about some of the web-based searching capabilities. So if you're an internal user, I'd highly suggest you set through the 4-hour training session. I know we've went through most of them, but I know they're going to probably have schedule some follow-up 4-hour training sessions. But most of them we've already went to all the districts and we've moved all the data. We are also going to be geo-coordinating all of the historical plan file room data this summer, where you'll be able to spatially locate anything through a spatial search. You'll be able to find all the project data within a region of a map within the state or the district. So let's take a look at searching. So session expired, give it a second. So I'm going to come back up to the top here, and I'm just going to do a basic search. We have up here in the right corner is what we call our quick search. You also have a quick search in the ProjectWise Explorer tool, and then we also have advanced search. Advanced search is going to allow us to basically search for documents or folders or both. It's going to allow me to search for any of my document properties, name, description, version, application type, any custom attributes. So down here at the bottom, we have a VDOT environment, and then we have different interfaces that displayed it. So I could search on the UPC number, the division number, archive, route number, city county number, section number. Let's say I don't have any of this information, right? All I know is it's a certain road or route, or a route number. Something that I'm not exactly sure if the custom attributes have been assigned. Okay, we can still do that. That's what we call full text. So if I put a search in here, I can do a keyword search into the content. Everything that goes into ProjectWise gets indexed. That includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, MicroStation, AutoCAD, PDFs, TIFFs, anything that has text content. You got to be careful with TIFFs, though, or JPEGs. If it hasn't been OCR, object character recognition, where it's extracted the text content, it's just going to be a picture, okay? So it has to have that OCR, and we do have content in here that's in a TIFF format where we have that content indexed. That index is available, and it has been indexed, and it's searchable. So let's just do a quick search. Now, remember that cab example I used earlier? If I go down to my saved searches, where I see binoculars here, and I go to global, here's all the cab searches. You don't necessarily need to go to the cab interface. If you know what your UPC number is, all you have to do is go to the cab folder and search for your UPC, and then pick it. And then there's the sets, the PDF set, the DGN set, and the proposal set. So those are just preset searches that find all the content within the documents folders, okay, within the project. So it's just another way to sort your content. Now, let's just pretend I'm looking for Oak Lawn Boulevard, okay? So I hit return. I'm just looking for the word Oak Lawn. In the quick search, it literally goes out and it searches everything. So you notice the word Oaklawn's not in this TIFF, okay? But if I right-click it and view it, it's in the content, Oaklawn. So we index everything. All I need now is a keyword. I'm looking for a certain type of detail, soil erosion detail or a guardrail detail. And I know that it's in a DGN file or it's in a PDF, or I'm looking for a memo that a specific user's name was in there. It was sent to a specific user. That's all I need now is just a keyword in the content, and I can find it. We have hundreds of thousands of documents in the system right now, and it just found all of the documents in the system. So you'll see there's multiple pages here. I can't display all of it. Every PDF, every TIFF, every Word document, every Excel document, every MicroStation document that has the word Oaklawn associated to it. Okay, this MicroStation file, right-click, go to the properties. Oaklawn could be a custom attribute, so it could be down here in the custom attributes. I don't see it in the custom attributes, but it could also be inside the DGN. So the word Oaklawn might be inside the DGN. Okay, now that's too much. So let's add another criteria. Just say, and I'm looking for a cross-section related to Oaklawn Boulevard that's station 50. So I literally put station 50. I would only find 8 documents. These MicroStation files and these PDFs either have Oaklawn inside them or associated to the attributes. So let's look at the properties of this one. So this one actually has Oaklawn. I thought one of these had Oaklawn in one of the document attributes. Let's see, maybe it's this one. And you can right-click and you go to the properties of any of these documents. So it looks like this don't have it as an attribute, but it may be inside the content. And I know that this one, if I view that, it's down here in the lower right corner. Oaklawn Boulevard, station 50 to 50 plus 75. So I could do a range as well. In the search dialog here, you can use and, or, not, between, greater than, less than. Any of these wildcards work. I can also put star, Oaklawn star. It all depends. So you can use wildcards. It's very similar to Google. But what's beautiful about ProjectWise is that everything's indexed. So I don't need to know the UPC number. I don't need to know. All I need to know is something about the subject matter. And the more I know, the quicker I can narrow it down. Okay. And with just 2 criteria, Oaklawn and Station 50, I narrowed it down to 8 documents. Okay, these are all cross sections that have Oaklawn Boulevard in them and Station 50. These are all versions of the same cross section. Okay, in different areas of the system. So very powerful searching. We have hundreds. I believe we have over millions of documents in the system now. And I ran that search in a matter of seconds from my basement office in a suburb of Detroit, Michigan with a cable modem. I can do that same search on my iPhone just by going to projectwise.vdot.virginia.gov and logging in with my username and password. Can't do that in Falcon. Can't do that in your Windows Explorer environment. Okay? So what that gives you is the ability to get to your content when you need it, where you need it. Okay? And you'll be able to do that. So for those internal folks, you'll be able to do that from any smartphone on the planet with internet access. Now, I would suggest that if you know you're going to be going in the field and you're going to have to access certain PDFs, create a series of searches. So you can have your own personal searches as well. Okay, so I have a search here under my personal searches for active searches. Okay, so that's all of my active projects. I created a search that finds all my active projects. I could have one that created that Oaklawn Boulevard and save that search. You save those searches inside ProjectWise Explorer, not the Web Explorer. The only searches you can do in the Web Explorer is this quick search and the advanced search. Okay? Okay, so that's our searching. Uploading documents. Let's just take a quick look at uploading some documents. We'll take a look at the actual submission for expression of interest uploading process. Then downloading documents, checking in and out, and then viewing. We've already viewed a couple documents, but we'll re-emphasize it. Okay, so uploading documents. Uploading a document is as simple as going to the folder where you have read-write access. You'll only be able to do this in a folder where you have read-write access. So it's, say in this project here, I wanted to upload some, say I wanted to upload an entire folder. I could actually right-click this folder and say upload folder. And it'll say what folder do you want. Pick it, hit OK, and it uploads it. What if I just want to upload a document? Go to Documents, Upload. I could also say New, and I could create a new document. And I could add custom attributes and anything like that. If I'm just uploading a document, I can go ahead and I could just, let's grab this EOI one, hit OK. That's it. You can upload individual documents with Chrome, Safari, Firefox. If I want to upload bulk upload, so I wanted to grab multiple files here. I have to have Internet Explorer to do that. Okay, so I've now just uploaded all 3 of those documents. Again, I'm in a basement office in Michigan right now, and I just uploaded that to the system. 4 PDFs within a matter of seconds. Okay, and now that they're out there, they're available for me to view them. Don't think they care about that in that project. That's just a phone list for my son's hockey team. Okay, so let's see if we got some. Looks like we might have any other questions. Okay, nope. So let's take a look at specifically the EOI. So I'm going to log out of the system and I'm going to log in as a different user that only has access to professional services. Okay, I'm going to log in as pretend I'm from Bentley Systems and I'm a user and I want to put an expression of interest out in the system. Okay, notice I see a completely different set of folders. I see just professional services. I don't see all of the other folders. Underneath there, I only see Bentley Systems because that user is only a member of Bentley Systems. And then underneath there, I see expressions of interest. I expand that out, and I don't see any content in there because I haven't put anything in there yet. Okay. If I wanted to add content, I can go to Document, Upload, grab whatever I want, hit Open. And I've just added 3 PDFs for my expressions of interest. It could be Word documents, Excel documents, whatever you want. Okay. You can also right-click and upload an entire folder into the expressions of interest. Okay. Pretty straightforward. So if you're typically the one that deals with putting in expressions of interest, your username and password is going to take you literally right to professional services, right to your company name, and expressions of interest. And you can upload your data by right-clicking and uploading a folder. You can create new folders if you have read-write access, and you can upload individual documents. You can do them one by one with Chrome, Safari, and Firefox. If you want to bulk upload multiple files, you want to use Internet Explorer. Okay? It's as simple as just document upload. We have a job aid for that. So if I go back to here and we take a look at the support page, right? There's a job aid for the expressions of interest right here. And that same job aid is also inside of ProjectWise. I'm going to go back in as my other user. If you go to standards, ProjectWise documentation, job aid, expressions of interest. There it is. It has the links, the support page, and then logging in process goes to the professional services, whatever your corresponding project is. And with the expressions of interest, as soon as the document gets added, they set final status on them. That's what this little bag tag is here. So you won't be able to modify the content once it's there. So if you need to remove it or anything like that, you may have to issue a help ticket for them to remove it and remove the set final status. Okay. So that's our upload. Download, pretty much just the reverse, right? So if I wanted to download this document, I just right-click it and download. If I wanted to download say I wanted to grab all the job aids, I could hit highlight all of them, right-click, download. Browse to a location on my C drive, and I have that download folder, and I'm going to actually make a folder called job aids, and I'll download it right there. Hit OK, and it's going to download all those PDFs to my local drive. You can only do them one by one if you're in Chrome, Safari, Firefox. If you want to bulk download like I just did now, you need Internet Explorer, 8, 9, 10, or 11. There's the job aid folder, and there they are on my local C drive. Okay. If I highlighted them and exported them, that's different. Export actually downloads them, but it locks them out at the same time. It's kind of like a checkout. So you don't want to typically export. And if you only have, like in the case of the job aid, it'll be read-only, so you won't be able to export. But if you're in a project where you have read-write access, you would be able to export if you have read-write access. Okay, so you want to be careful. When you see this pencil, that indicates that you have write access. That means you can export it or download it. If you see an open book, that means you can only view it and you can only download it. So the export option will be grayed out. Okay. How about checking in and checking out? So if you have the viewer, right, Word, Excel, if you have that application on your machine and you're using Internet Explorer, you can right-click and say open, and it will open it up, and it will also check it out at the same time, red check mark. And I can modify it. So I could modify it, close it, and check it back in. Okay. You can add a comment. That comment goes in the audit record. The audit track. I can at any given time I can go back to the audit record, go to my properties, audit trail, and I can see that. You know, when I checked it out, when I checked it in, and whether or not I left a comment. Okay. So that applies to Word, Excel, any of those. Okay. So you have the ability to check in and check out. If you do any kind of microstation work, do not use the Web Explorer for editing your content. Use ProjectWise Explorer, because the Web Explorer client does not honor the reference capabilities. It will bring out what you need, but if you had to attach a reference or something like that, it doesn't know how to manage the references through the. It's really not meant for editing microstation content. It will let you do basic. I mean, if you did have microstation on your machine, you could come into this here and you could right-click, or you could right-click it, check it out, and open it up. Okay, and it would let you edit it, and you could right-click and check it back in. But if you're doing anything related to references, it's not going to honor those. So you just remember, if you need to edit microstation content, please use the ProjectWise Explorer. If I just have a quick piece of text I need to change, and I have MicroStation on the device that I'm accessing it, yes, you can do that. You could right-click and check it out, or you could just say open. And open it will check it out and open it at the same time. Okay? But a PDF, like this one, right? Let's say if I right-clicked and I said open, it'll open it up and check it out at the same time. Same thing with MicroStation. Just want to speed up the process here. So it's checked out. But when I close it, it doesn't prompt me to check it in. ProjectWise Explorer will prompt you to check it in. The Web Explorer won't. So right-click and just say check in. But if all you're interested is basically uploading and downloading some data, you don't really need to worry about checking in and checking. And you're only going to be able to check in and check out content that you have read-write access to. If you only have read access, you're only going to be able to view it anyways or download it. Okay. Now we do, like I mentioned, you notice that when I'm on a MicroStation file, I have the ability to view it or mark it up. Okay, I didn't have the ability to do that here. There's no markup, it's grayed out. But you can mark up a PDF with Bluebeam or any PDF markup tool you have. It'll work, it'll check it out, mark it up, check it back in. MicroStation, we actually provide a markup tool, but earlier I said it's not working right now. They've disabled it. I need to work with their security people to re-enable it. It was working, and they basically restricted that URL from publishing it. But it'll provide this ActiveX viewer that has measuring distance and area capabilities. You can turn on and off references and levels. You can print your MicroStation files, and you have basic markup text with leader, lines, clouds, freeform, polygons, rectangles. So you have basic markup functionality. Okay. So we do have that available. Okay. Once we've fixed that, and but right now, as far as basic uploading and downloading, remember you can download, you can upload a folder. You can download an entire folder. You can grab what documents you want, and you can download just those documents. You can grab them all, download all of them. And again, you can only export if you have write access, and export actually locks the files like it's a checkout. Let's see what else we got here. So we talked about downloading, check-in and checkout process, and the markup process. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to stick around here for a few minutes, and I'll answer any questions you have. Got you just under the wire here. Got 2 minutes left before lunchtime. I'm sure everybody's anxious to go with lunch. If you have any questions, make sure all support goes to cadsupport.vdot or at vdot.virginia.gov. Feel free to send me an email. If you want me to email you the PowerPoint, I can email it to you. Just send me an email. And have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll answer any questions you have right now as well. So there was a question here. If someone accidentally deletes a document, how can you restore it? So Perna, we have you can just issue a help ticket to CAD support. We have what we call a soft delete, and when you're logged in as an administrator, there's a recycle bin. All files that get deleted in the system actually go to a recycle bin, and they can just restore from the recycle bin. The recycle bin typically, I believe, stays there for 60 days. So the file's in the recycle bin for 60 days. So if it's outside of that 60-day window, they may have to go back to backup tape. Okay. Yep. So Perno, yeah, yes, absolutely, you can restore deleted files.